Welcome to today's City Council meeting, March 11th, 2024. I now call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
District 1, Councilmember Casey.
Present.
District 2, Councilmember Vieira.
Present.
District 4, Councilmember Martinez, absent. District 3, Vice Mayor Silvera.
Here.
Mayor Lopez.
Here. Today, we'll be having an invocation by Pastor Jim Stotchel from the Harvest Presbyterian Church. If you can please stand, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe he is on Zoom today. You there, Jim?
Pastor Stotchel, can you hear us? You may want to unmute your mic.
Pastor is rejoining.
Jim Stotchel, you'll need to unmute your mic on your end.
You online? Okay. Well, Jim, we can't see or hear you. You've been promoted to panelist. We're gonna have to move on, sir, unless you come on. Okay, I'll go ahead and do the invocation. Let us pray. Be humble for everything that we have. Bless the city of Ceres and everybody in this room. Always remember that we always have to give to others and always lend a helping hand to those in need. Amen. Okay, today we have a presentation by Capital Advocacy Group, and I believe Doug, you will present the staff report.
Council and, Mayor and council members. Today we have Dante Marino and Dana de Beaumont from Capital Advocacy Partners. They'll be doing a presentation as a response to a referral. I believe that Councilwoman Vieira had requested an update on what they're doing for the city right now. So I turn it over to Dante, I believe.
Hi, Doug. It's me, Dana. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, City Manager Dunford and members of the City Council. My name is Dana de Beaumont, and I'm the founding partner of Capital Advocacy Partners. I'm going to do a general introduction of the kind of work that we do. And we hope this will be a discussion more so than a presentation, as we want to learn more about your priorities and items that are important to you so that we can best represent you in Washington, D.C. And my name is Dana de Beaumont, as I said, and my colleague Dante Marino is here with me. She is the client manager, and we work hand in hand on your work to represent your interests in Washington, D.C. and help to secure funding. Capital Advocacy Partners is a 12-person team with expertise in public safety, education, transportation, water, infrastructure, disaster relief, and other areas. Our clients are basically municipalities, counties, nonprofits, and education entities. We are your active voice in Washington, D.C. We work with Congress, the agencies, and the administration. And what we really do is try to share your agenda, and we can move to slide 2. I don't know who can move that, who has the ability to do that. I hope it's not me because I don't know how to do it. There you go. Thank you. And so we work for you. You are our bosses. One of the things we do is focus on grants. That's really our specialty in addition to community projects. So about I guess it was about 8 years ago when community projects went away, we developed an expertise in grants, which kind of came naturally as I used to be a newspaper reporter. So I have a master's degree in public affairs reporting, so I was well versed in writing. So what we really do is research programs. We develop strategic funding plans. We understand the requirements and agency priorities to really know how to write a grant to the criteria and the scoring. We troubleshoot issues before and after funding. We build relationships. We position the city and individual departments for success. So part of our onboarding is we have met multiple times with each agency within the city to learn more about what their priorities are, what their challenges are, and what their wish list is. We position the city for success. We win congressional support, but most importantly, we write and submit grants and community projects. We also engage on legislation. We examine, track, and recommend positions. We draft and recommend legislative language as well as legislative position letters, because those are really important to ensure that your voice is heard throughout the process, just not when you really need something like a multi-million-dollar community project. And we really position the city as a resource for decision makers to use when they need data. We provide information. We do all kinds of things. And very often the information we provide is included in members' press releases or talking points, so that we really work to advance you guys as an expert and to keep the city of Sierras front and foremost. I'll go ahead and let my colleague Dante Moreno, who's been really doing a lot of good work on your behalf, talk about where we are and where we're going on achievements. The next slide, please.
Hi, I'm Dante Moreno. I'm really happy to be here today to discuss the work that we've done with the city since August and the work that we're planning to do with the city, and have a discussion on council's priorities to make sure that we're all on the same page. Since August, we've secured $20,000 in funding, and we currently have $5.4 million pending. $3.1 million is from a grant, and $2.265 million is from a community project request. We were so excited to host Mayor Lopez here in DC in January. CAP facilitated and scheduled meetings with Senator Padilla, Senator Butler, Congressman Duarte in the Department of Transportation, as well as meetings with their staff. Following up on those very successful meetings, CAP maintains weekly communication with staff to keep them up to date on city news and priorities. As I mentioned, we have won $20,000 from the county to help purchase a vehicle for public works. And we're currently waiting on $3.1 million for a homeless outreach team for the police department. We're working with the police to create a PowerPoint, which they will be sharing with the county later in March. Next slide, please. We are currently working on several grants. We're submitting a Department of Energy request to purchase an electric SUV for the city to use. We're also working with the police department to submit a grant to the California Attorney General Tobacco Office to create a tobacco compliance program and also fund decoy operations. As Dana mentioned, we're submitting our community project request to our federal electeds tomorrow. It's to help renovate and rehabilitate the American Legion Memorial Building for $2.265 million. Next slide, please. As Dana mentioned, we have had multiple meetings with each department head to understand the priorities going on in the city and ensure that we're looking for the correct funding opportunities to help you guys out. The ones that we're currently working on, we're looking at the Department of Transportation, Safe Streets and Roads for All to help create a safety action plan for Service Road. We're also looking into a COPS hiring grant for the police department to help fund additional police officers. Other priorities that we're keeping an eye out for funding are to restore the water tower, but we're eager to hear what your priorities are for funding. Thank you.
Yeah, and just let me add one thing to that. As part of the creativity we facilitate, in terms of the school resource officer, we're looking to kind of package 2 grants to help cover the cost. One would be through the COPS hiring program, which is federal money, and the other could be through the AG tobacco grant program to help build programs with kids. And so to educate on the harm of tobacco, and so that's the kind of thing that we're working on to put together to have the lowest out-of-pocket cost to the city while still having the most impact. We wanted to go over like some of the accomplishments we have for other cities that we've been working with for, about a year and a half or more. And the first is and we picked these clients and we're happy to talk about any because they're other municipal governments. The first is the city of Gustine, where we've been working with for several years. We've secured over almost $7.8 million in funding for the city for water improvements, for a fire truck, and for public safety and mental health. And we continue to help the city do things like file their reports, come into compliance to make sure they're meeting their grant objectives. We've secured nearly $24 million for the city of Hayward in the Bay Area, which includes $4.2 million for community projects for facilities and public safety, almost $2 million for youth counseling, diversion, case management, and crisis intervention. We've secured 3 DOJ community-oriented policing awards for $8.6 million and another $5.5 million for public safety and mental health. And these have been federal, state, and county grants that we've written for them to secure the funding. And then for the city of California City, which we've been working for maybe a year and a half, we've secured them $3.5 million, and it's up to date because we just learned yesterday that they won Friday $1 million for a community project funding. So we've secured them about $2.2 million for Proposition 64 funds, which is essentially establishes a task force addressing marijuana cultivation, distribution, and compliance to help increase tax revenues and still bring these growers into compliance and improve safety. $250,000 to hire 2 police officers. Like I mentioned, $1 million in community project funds that we just learned about we just confirmed on Friday to improve water quality and system reliability, and about $2.5 million for public safety and mental health. So we really do run the gamut, and we work in a real comprehensive approach, and we remain fluid to try to move where we see a funding opportunity or a good fit. So what we've really been focused on in the past 6 months is really getting to know the city, its needs, its strengths, its challenges, and what are in your plans. And I'm sorry, I'm at home and there's a dog barking. And it was, really good to have Mayor Perez here. He was a very good advocate, and we would welcome other members of the city council to come, or if you're in town, just let us know, give us a few hours, because your voice is more powerful than ours can ever be, although we're really good at what we do. So like I said, we'd like to make this a conversation, and we'd love to hear your questions, suggestions, more about what really matters to you and what you'd like to see.
Thank you very much. I'll bring this back to the council. Does the council have any comments or questions? Looking at my buttons here. Doesn't look like we do. Okay. Nubia, shall we open this up to the public?
You can.
Okay. Any members of the public will have any comments or questions? Seeing none. Well, thank you very much for the presentation. It was a good experience out there, and I know that there's a whole lot of work to be done in the background, and I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, as we talked about before, the letter of support from my office will be sent over as soon as you guys communicate with me in regards to that. Okay, thank you very much. We're now going
Thank
to
you
move
for
on.
the opportunity.
Yes. No problem. Thank you. Moving on to citizens' communications. While the city council welcomes and encourages participation in the city council meetings, adopted rules allow no more than 5 minutes. Resolution number 2007-106 for expression of non-agenda items. Matters under the jurisdiction of the city council and not posted on the agenda may be addressed by the general public. However, California law prohibits the city council from taking any action on any matters which is not posted on the agenda unless it is determined to be an emergency by the city council. Citizens are entitled to address the city council on any agenda item subject to the 5-minute provision. Anyone wishing to address the city council must adhere to the rules of decorum. The rules of decorum are posted outside the chamber's doors. Is there anybody in the public that would like to make a comment? I do have one yellow card actually from Destiny. We'll start there and then we'll go back to anybody else who would like to speak.
Mayor, and good evening, council and the city of Ceres. Just giving a brief update. Again, my name is Destiny Suarez, Communications Aide and District Representative for Senator Maria Alvarado Gil. I just want to give an update on our 2024 Senate District 4 Making Her Story. Back in January, we did open these up and we received a enormous amount of nominations across all 13 counties. This selection, Councilmember Vieira actually submitted a nomination, which was selected as honoree. So we look forward to celebrating her within the few weeks to come, and we will be doing a press release to inform the public more of nominees. So we're very excited for that. And then I don't have all the bills, and it's a very long list. Again, Senator is bringing out 19 bills, half co-sponsored, co-authored, whatnot. But just a brief update on what these bills will cover is wildfire, public safety, education, fairs, and so some of the Sacramento policy she is focusing on right now is the unhoused crisis, the insurance, AT&T issue that just came up, children, and she's also and that's it. I'm looking forward to in the next few weeks.
Thank you very much, Destiny. Any other members of the public would like to make a comment? Seeing none. Did we receive any emails? Okay. Unless I'm just looking around again. Okay, public period is now closed. Moving on, is there any conflicts of interest on the consent calendar? Seeing none. All matters listed on the consent calendar are considered routine in nature and will be enacted by a single motion unless otherwise requested by an individual council member or public for special consideration. Otherwise, the recommendation of staff will be enacted by a roll call vote. Is there any members of the city council that would like to pull an item? Is there any members of the public that would like to pull an item? Is that it? Any emails? Oh, Mr. Warren. It was number 6. Right, number 6. Okay, I'll bring this back to the council.
Move to approve consent calendar 1 through 5 and 7.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Casey,
Aye.
Councilmember Vieira,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Silvera,
Yes.
Mayor Lopez.
Yes.
Motion carries 4 with 1 absent.
Item number 6, Mr. Warren.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, council members. John Warren here. Not so much a comment as an observation. Staff. Staff report indicated that the property was unusable and was repairable and was not fit to be used. Basically, it wasn't safe. Ever. So it needed to be disposed of. It didn't have to store it, so forth and so on. Then when I looked at the attachments, he listed that equipment, that all the equipment was. So I wondered why there was conflict. One place said it was usable, and for the purposes of selling that stuff, it was listed as being in condition. I thought there might be a conflict there that someone could hang their hat on later. A lot of one share. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Any additional comments or questions? Okay, bring this back to the council for a motion.
Move to approve number 6 on the consent calendar.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Casey,
Aye.
Councilmember Vieira,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Silvera,
Yes.
Mayor Lopez.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0 with 1 absent.
Okay, moving on to new business. This item is being pulled by staff and we'll bring this back to another meeting in the future. So that is it. Moving on to council member referrals. Any council member referrals today? Okay. Moving on to reports. I have no reports. City council member reports. Seeing none. City manager report.
Mr. Mayor and council members, we have held the Director of Community Development interviews last week. We have made a job offer to an individual and that person has accepted. So we're in the process of backgrounds right now. Anticipate starting sometime in April. That's moving forward. And then also just a reminder, I'll be missing from the next council meeting. I'll be out of country. I'll be back April 1st.
Okay. Safe travels. City attorney.
Nothing to report tonight.
Okay. Departments? Mr. Chavez?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. I'd like to introduce our new Recreation Supervisor, Jessica Pulliam. She started last week. It's been great to have her, and she is trying to slow her into the system, but she's jumping in the fire right away and welcome her aboard.
Welcome. Congratulations. Any words? From you, yes.
I'm very pleased to be here. I worked in Merced and very excited to be here. Everybody's been amazing. Everybody.
Thank you for those kind words. Okay, moving on. Yeah, no, I'm moving on. I'm just sorry. I thought it was a question over your corner, but it was just a comment. Okay, moving on to county supervisor. Do you have any words today, sir? Just a smile and a. Thank you. Right on, always. All right, moving on. There is no closed session, so this meeting is now adjourned. Everybody have a wonderful day.